Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. My name is Red. Last time, we finished up level 2 Eastern Hyrule, going into the Eastern Palace, defeating Stone Argus, and rescuing the next maiden, who has now led us to level 3 Death Mountain. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this in the Death Mountain foothills. We're not gonna jump into Death Mountain itself. Not yet, anyway. Link, we're in Northern Hyrule at the base of Death Mountain. Head for the peak. I don't wanna. Warning, if you see either green Link, red Link, blue Link, or purple Link, all the links, report back at once. Can I just turn my other three selves in and get money off that? Okay, as someone who's read the official manga, I feel like that's something they would actually do. At least one of them, I don't know which one. What the heck, how... These two are sitting here trying to, like, stab me, and you're just sitting... Good lord. And that one's just like, I don't see anyone. Where are they? I gotta turn them in and get my money. But no, like I said, I have a feeling one of them would probably try to turn the other three in. Whichever Link of the four does not have any morals. Although, to be fair, they all do. Oh, okay, that was weird. Alright, there we go. Oh, they're everywhere. Why are you aiming at... I don't think your arrows are working there. They're going right through him. We're just gonna stab you now. God, I've never seen that happen. They just... Like, oh god! He's right next to me! What, you bonehead, that's me! You damn moron. Alright, so hearts in here. Let's grab our first sub-item of the level, the bow. Oh, good lord. That's right. God, why are you not dead? How many times must I stab you? Slash you, hit you, do something violent in order to see that you are no longer moving. What's in this house? Oh, good lord. Alright, boomerang's in here. I think I want to hold on to the bow, though. Okay, that got him. I was gonna say that... Wait, there's still more? Oh, it said there's one right there. Alright, a big 300 force gem. Very happy. This guy, is this not the... No, this is the level I'm thinking of, yeah. So we're actually coming up on a segment where you gotta move around. Maybe we don't. Okay, is this a much different level than I thought it was? Maybe it is. Yeah, I suppose it is. Okay. Yeah, never mind. It might be the next level or one later on, yeah. Or it's... Oh, no, that's the next world, isn't it? Okay, maybe it is, yep. Alright. We're gonna bomb for you! Oh, no, I can just shoot them with I can shoot them with a bow. What am I doing? I do have to use bombs, though. Alright. I suppose now is not a bad time for me to go over one of the reasons why... Basically, one of the things about this game that... Because I mentioned before in the first episode, it's a game that, while receiving critical praise, it underperformed. It really didn't do well. It is one of the lowest selling titles, possibly one of the lowest selling Zelda titles, but I don't think it's the lowest selling one. But, so, going over some of these reasons, it's all just, nothing is actually set in stone, but when you kind of look at a lot of, kind of the data, when you kind of analyze a lot of it, like what was going on with the series at this time, and the gaming market, many things, it kind of starts to make sense. You kind of start to see it, but a lot of this is just opinionated, like my opinion, based on what I've kind of observed and what, from what I've seen others say. But, so, it was gonna, for this one, it's actually gonna be two combined. It's gonna be, the fact that this game is simply called Four Swords, plus the fact this game is built around multiplayer. So, getting into it, when Zelda Four Swords first dropped, like, for this game, I thought it was a multiplayer-only title. And a lot of that was simply because of the fact that it had 4 swords in its name. And I knew about 4 swords, like I'm sure many others did, because the first 4 swords was released bundled with Zelda: A Link to the Past, the port that was made for the Game Boy Advance. And of course, that was multiplayer only. Now, I don't know if it was necessarily popular. I'm sure many people who played it tried to, but of course, that was a game that required you having 3 other people, well, at least 1 other person. You needed link cables to play, and many others, and of course, it was one of those where you couldn't just like save your progress. I think you had to actually just play through it all in one sitting. But yeah, it was multiplayer only. The whole thing was designed around multiplayer. So it wouldn't surprise me, because like it did with me, if many people had to face some oh my god. Maybe dealt with a little bit of confusion surrounding the name, because this was a GameCube title, and it was labeled 4 swords, and people knew that the original 4 swords was multiplayer. And now, getting into without knowing that this actually had a single player option to it. So I know when I saw it in stores at Target many years ago, that was my immediate thought. Like I recognized it was a Zelda game, but it's like, oh, 4 swords, oh, it must be multiplayer only. So yeah, that was me. I'm sure many others had that experience, but now getting into the multiplayer aspect, which is probably the biggest part of it, it's also the fact that this is a lot of it is just the threshold, like the entry level, the accessibility to multiplayer. So I'm sure the fact that it is multiplayer maybe turned it off to some people, because it was a lot by design. It's a lot different from your traditional Zelda, where you had this kind of not seamless big open world, but you had a big world you could kind of just run around and explore what you wanted to do. This completely just a complete 180 on that. It turns it all around. It's level based. It's designed around multiplayer in mind, and even if you do the single player, you can really see that. And then, like I mentioned, the accessibility to multiplayer. So the GameCube at launch was what, $200. The Game Boy Advance was $100. You needed the copy of the game, which was $50. Yeah, I know games used to be $50 at most. Then you needed a Game Boy Advance GameCube link cable, and generally those came bundled, from what I remember, with Zelda 4 Swords, because this game was it was Forza's Adventures, because this game was heavily marketed around the multiplayer feature, being able to use the GameCube and Game Boy Advance link cable, and truly this game brings out the best in that. It is not the only title that makes use of it, because I know Metroid Prime did that. No, excuse me, Animal Crossing and Zelda Wind Waker did. I know plenty of other titles did too, but I don't remember them all. Now I'm curious about that, but... Oh yeah, you had that. And then... So right there, it's what? About $200. Plus another $100 for the system, then a $50 for the game. And then you should already have the cable, but if not, it was like $15 for the cable. So I know I got mine when it wasn't bundled. So right there, provided you bought this stuff at launch, it's going to be spaced out, but so that's like about $315, $320, yeah, $370, $75 right there. Plus, when you think about the fact that by the time this game released, it was 2004, and the GameCube, it was an underperforming console. It actually did not do that great. It only sold, what, 22 million units, which at the time for Nintendo was, but considered was kind of a failure, at least up until the Wii U launched. Then it was completely overtaken. So by that point, like I mentioned, 2004, this game, of course, $50, but by that point, the GameCube system should have had a price cut. I mean, it definitely did. I think it was either about $100 or $150 at most. And then you had the Game Boy Advance, which I think was still at $100. But by that point, the SP launched, and I think that was either $100 or $150. I don't know if the original Game Boy Advance was less at that point. I could very well be wrong, but still, just to kind of like, for estimate's sake, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So right there, you had, let's say like a $100 GameCube console. Then you had $100 for the Game Boy Advance. You had $50 for the game, and then you had the link cable. Not to mention the fact that you had no other people who had this game, or well, had a Game Boy Advance and had the cable. If not, you are one person buying 4 Game Boy Advance consoles, a GameCube, a copy of the game, and then the link cables. So imagine, yeah, you're one person buying all that. So that right there is single-handedly, let's see. Oh, does that not work? Okay, that doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? That's weird. Okay. Right there. 100 plus another, so that's 500 there for consoles, another 50 for the game for 550. And then the cables, so you're spending about roughly $600 on equipment just to do multiplayer. And that's not a specific number, but it's very close to what it like more or less was. And so looking at that, it's easy to understand why it probably was a big turnoff for many people, because a lot of the confusion based around it being 4 swords plus the entry to multiplayer. You really had to know people had to be willing to play it. And granted, the single player isn't bad, but like I said, this game was heavily marketed around multiplayer, so that right there is kind of two, I guess I don't want to call them recipes for disasters, but two things that definitely likely caused some confusion, and also kind of put a financial burden or turn people away from it just because of the cost. All that just for multiplayer, which was supposed to be the best feature about this game, and it is the best feature about this game. So, yeah. But no, it's, like I mentioned before, this is one of my personal favorites. I love it just for how different it is, because I've always wanted to see multiplayer in a Zelda game. And that's what this did, and of course, I'd seen that with 4 Swords, but I didn't know anybody else who had A Link to the Past, plus the 4 Swords bundle for Game Boy Advance. So I got this game. And then when I found out I didn't find out it had single player until many years later. It was like 2008 or such, because that's when gaming videos started to appear on YouTube. Yeah, I was around for a lot of that. And then that's when I saw there was a single player option. Like, what in the world? I can do this single player? I thought it was multiplayer only. So yep, then there I was in 2008 getting my copy of the game and playing that alongside Smash Bros. Brawl. And to this day, it's still definitely one of my top 5 Zelda games. No, I still love it a lot, which is why I'm playing it now, because I wanted to revisit it. But yeah, this game just had a lot of problems going for it from the start, whether we realize it or not. But still, one I encourage people to play if they can, especially if you can do multiplayer and you have people who are willing to put in the money and do all this, definitely do it. All right. Oh, that's right, I gotta burn that stump. Yeah, I can't get Dark Link there. I can't do anything about that, but I can just go up and move on. Alright. Yep, so that is, I guess, technically 2 reasons why this game... There were issues, like, a lot of just a couple of the issues that they kind of had going for it, and why this game likely underperformed and didn't do better. But it is still a treat, it is still a lot of fun. Alright, that's 1 Hinox dealt with. And now there's 3! You see a Hinox? Oh my god. You see a Hinox, you smack a bomb with a hammer and blow yourself up. Oh my. Oh boy. I'm doing great. How about the rest of you? Oh! These things hurt. Bombs will do a lot of damage to it, but so will, using your formations and doing, like spinning, ouch. Ouchie. Oh my. Rocks for everyone. Yeah, but so will, doing, spin attacks and hitting him multiple times with his swords. Yep. There we go. Hearts. Thank you. Very much dying. Oh. Oh. There we go. Oh, it did hit me. Okay. Good timing on my part. Oh! Okay, with hearts on there. Yes. Awesome. No, and I should mention, I would definitely love to see this game. Nintendo, guys, so far with this, the Wii U would have been a prime opportunity to re-release this game, just with like an upgraded resolution and online functionality, and even the Switch would heavily benefit from this. Nintendo, what are you doing? Ho 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 ho. Such you, troubled by the giants, are you? We magic users have enchanted 2 types of medallion. These medallions instantly alter the shape of an evil presence or make it vanish. One of these medallions is in the treasure chest there. One that I enchanted myself. You may use it if you like. You got a quake medallion. Throw it away with the R button to cause an earthquake. Whoa, bam! Oh, negative space. And everything's turned into... Oh god, what were these things called again? No, these aren't choo-choos, are they? No, they're... I forgot what their names are. Alrighty then. Now we can move on. Hebra's Hill. Now right here actually is a big throwback to Zelda 1. The like maze part of the mountain, was it? The maze part of Death Mountain. The one where you just keep going up. You don't go anywhere else, you just go up. The exact same thing from Zelda 1. And then you wind up right up here. Here we go. And here we are, nearly at the end of the level. Attack! Hey! That didn't do shit. Attack! Oh, good lord! I stab in front, I stab behind. Everything dies by the stabbing. That didn't do anything. Stop poking me, for the love of God. Woo! There we go, 2000. Your swords are filled with the power to repel evil. Give me your force gems. I have the power of the force. Alright, nothing in those little caves. And was it right down here? Is there a thing? Yeah! Force gems of every color. Not that it... Honestly, not that I need them. Yep, one of every 4 large types. Alright. Quick get in place, quick get in place. Yes! There we go. Yeah, I just like doing that. Alright. That is the first stage of level 3. Death Mountain Foothills is done, so... Next time on Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, we're going to continue on in level 3 Death Mountain by taking on the Mountain Path. See you all then.